Hello, everybody, and good evening. Welcome back onto the EIF Network, just 24 hours removed from our last broadcast, which featured the last two matches of the regular show Superstardom airing on WWE 2K16. Well, we're back here tonight a little later on, as we mentioned last night on our broadcast, a later viewing of Extreme Distortion. It is the final episode of ED on WWE 2K16 for Extreme International Fighting. Tonight is ED number 296, and it's going to be featuring two big matches with four big names. Master B, the younger brother of Superstardom champion MBC, will go one-on-one with Greedy in our co-main event, and then in the main event, he is the guy that has main evented the last 8 consecutive regular shows. He is a guy that has been main eventing pretty much since he won the Superstardom title in May. He's not on the same reign he is now, he is then, or was then, but he is still the Superstardom champion, MBC Master, going one-on-one with Deathlock. It will be the first time these two face off one-on-one in EIF since WrestleMania 9. It feels like a long time ago, 6 months to be exact, back in March of this year. And that was really when MBC's career began to turn the corner, and we thought this might be somebody special. It's turned out that he's a 3-time undisputed Superstardom champion and no end in sight to his current reign. So we're going to get to see those two awesome matches. We're going to start it out with the first that we mentioned, Greedy versus Master B, certainly proving ground and proving rights for both men. MBC will be accompanying his younger brother to ringside to watch this match, but of course you have to wonder if there's going to be some mind games there between MBC and Nemesis Greedy. As the match is up, we ask the superstars who were just discussed about to please go ahead and join. Of course, we welcome our viewers that are tuning in here tonight for the final regular show broadcast of EIF for 2K16. We know that the views are probably far and few between right now, given the popularity of WWE 2K16 is probably at an all-time low, just given the new releases of a number of games, including one Forza Horizon 3 that was released today. I am one of the people that has that game. I don't know how many people in EIF are fans of Forza, but it's a good game. Open world race game. Now, NBC Master B last night got the win over Aaron. However, if you were watching that, you'll notice the connection wasn't as best as we had hoped it to be. Obviously, there's no guarantees tonight. Same principle goes as last night, which we had mentioned on our broadcast, that we do have technical difficulties. They're happening a little bit more so frequently now than they were. I've been told by a number of EIF superstars that while it may be my connection, it certainly could have large part to do with WWE 2K16. The servers are experiencing a little bit more fragility than what they had previously had.
What word can I use today? Fragility. I'm sure nobody knows what that is, neither do I.
And of course, Master B, though, hoping for a lag-free match, and if it is, then he will have the opportunity to defeat Greedy tonight, which would be a huge mark for NBC Master B, who will have a huge opportunity come Bonafide Fights this Saturday night, the Bonafide Fights Supercard, where Master B will face off with DZ. And it's an intriguing matchup in a number of ways, because if DZ wins, he's going to get to pick the stipulation for a Fight the Fate Superstardom Championship match in the near future on 2K17. Fight the Fate will be the first CIF pay-per-view on the next game. But if Master B wins, that Fight the Fate Superstardom Championship match becomes DZ included plus the rookie superstar, what will be a triple threat match. And can you imagine if NBC is still the Superstardom champion at that time, having his own flesh and blood, trying to pry away a title that means so much to NBC, who will enter in Saturday along with Hybrid as the world champions on each brand, a respective total of 49 days. Due to poor network performance, the voice chat feature has been disabled, and due to what we expect to happen, I don't know how well this will go. course, as I said, the connection has been somewhat on and off. I think it varies day to day, to be fair. I mean, prior to this, the 3 matches we had prior, Untamed and Jolton, wasn't of the best connections. The other 2, though, no problems. And last night, I think we only had problems in that 1 or 2 matches. But again, other than that, though, it's been better than what X2 was. X2 was a night to forget. NBC, I wonder if you would leave the game, would it help? You could try. Greedy says he does not want NBC to leave. He wants him to stay. He wants him to be the reason why Greedy loses this match. To the outside goes myself. Well, we are waiting to see if the connection gets better. I mean, do you guys want me to remake it? It could. Greedy. Remake it? Alright. Alright. It was very delayed, so we're going to go ahead and try and remake this match. I mean, as we said, things do happen. And connection is a certain variable. Definitely is. So, but we were hoping that 2K17 will bring more positivity. Alright, Greedy is requesting a triple threat be made. I agree. We'll do that. Sorry, NBC. But don't forget, NBC and Master B are brothers, so NBC can simply run across the hall. Alright, guys, the match is up. Greedy and Master B, please go ahead and join. Greedy has joined the game. We await his opponent, the former 2-time United States champion, Master B, the same title that his older brother first won in this league before moving on and ascending to the main event. Master B could be in the same boat, taking the same path, depending on how Bonafide Fights lays out for him. Mm-hmm.
I can see why these people are super stardom guys.
I do.
Yeah, because Master P sucks at fucking leave. What are you talking about? And you're only good at tapping people out. You're only good at tapping people out.
So we're giving this a second opportunity here to see if the connection improved at all from what last match was. Chances are it will not, and if it does not, then we might ask the Superstars just to fight through it. First of 2 matches tonight, NBC and Deathlock in our main event. And as we say, this is the first of our 2 scheduled broadcasted matches tonight, or matches to be broadcasted. We should mention that this Saturday at Bonafide Fights, Greedy will be looking to be in the, well, this looks a lot better, but Greedy will be looking to be in 2 matches at Bonafide Fights. More on that in just a second. Ding, ding, ding! And we are underway, and it's going to start out with Master B with a German suplex to Greedy, and we mention that because Greedy will first have to fight Jetstar. Jetstar and Greedy, Finn Balor and the Deadman, The Undertaker. So Deadman versus Demon, and it's going to be the winner of that moving on to face the Beast Incarnate, Brock Lesnar's representative from EIF NBC Master, who will be 1 day shy of the half-century mark in days holding that undisputed Superstardom Championship. And Greedy has to get through that hurdle at Bonafide Fights. As we mentioned, this is the 5th annual Bonafide Fights, seeming to be a super card, as it is without even argument, without any argumentation. Card-wise, on paper, Bonafide Fights this year has the best card assembled in any Bonafide Fights history. Master B will make his pay-per-view, or his debut in terms of pay-per-view at the All Six extravaganza that happens once a year over the last half-decade, and EIF has produced a number of successful pay-per-views. Greedy a part of a number of those Bonafide Fights. 8 matches in total scheduled for this Saturday. No pre-show, remember that, guys. 9 to midnight, the scheduled time, as Master B backpedaling and then looking for a kick to Greedy. Greedy meets him, takes him down. And you have to wonder, Greedy, though, although he has to get past Jetstar, he's sending the messages to the Superstardom champion. Greedy and Jetstar are skating on thin ice, so to speak. Both of these men have, at most, 1 shot left in them. 1 more match. 1 more opportunity to overcome and dethrone NBC Master. It was the hottest rivalry in Super 2K16. It was the biggest rivalry of the summer storyline-wise for the last number of months. NBC have been being the Superstar. It's Greedy. They shot delivered to Master B, and now the lag begins to sink in. Although it's still not at the level it was last match. But yeah, it's still gonna happen though, dude. Like, I don't think it, I don't know. Because, like, right now, like, it's seeping in. This has happened before. The first couple minutes will be good, and lags the rest of the way. So I wouldn't what happens in this match. It's just shitty, like, I think about it though. But hope is that this Saturday is that good. Yeah, but I mean, in fairness, the servers were unbearable on most of that game. You know what I mean? Like, but well, Greedy gonna take advantage of the lag, and Master B did the same thing last night where he pinned Aaron on Superstardom. Or, I'm sorry, I believe submitted Aaron actually. Or no, it was a pin. I'm sorry, he did attempt the submission. He attempted the submission. Aaron was able to get out of it, but yeah, well, it looks like Bonafide Fights in all reality is probably going to be a coin toss. So on card, though, on paper, it gives you enough reason to want to tune in because, as I said, this pay-per-view has makings to. I think on card we've been talking about that and how it's stacked up with previous Bonafide Fights editions and installments. I think you could argue not just for the sake of that pay-per-view's history, but the overall pay-per-views in WWE 2K16. Card-wise, this pay-per-view could arguably be the best one other than WrestleMania. So, very exciting, we're hoping, and, you know, obviously towards the end of the year, if you've been an EIF superstar or even an avid fan of the EIF network, all the way back to its inception in last April of 2015 while we battled the connection issues of 15, you will know that that the end of the years have been dogfights, I have to say the least. They have been times they have been hard, difficult to want to get on the game, difficult to get connection and the game itself to cooperate. So we certainly hope that this Saturday's bona fide fights can be what I think everybody wants, and that's a proper farewell to 2K16. Granted, the game right now is giving us reasons to despise it, but I think many would argue that yes, the game interface in terms of move sets and things along such lines were broken as the terms in EIF, not by the terms of Matt Hardy's character on TNA. Awesome, by the way, and hopefully gets signed by WWE, but that's neither here nor there. As we were saying, though, the game, obviously, while it does have its flaws, just as any video game, just as every WWE game has plenty of, I would argue that from a broadcast standpoint and overall atmospheric standpoint, 2K16 was an improvement from 15. So we hold upward trend on the next gen gaming system continues with WWE 2K17. Don't forget WWE 2K17 in stores October the 11th. Reserve your copy today, and while you're doing that, you can reserve your EIF Superstardom draft pick. First round Superstardom draft picks are still available. This year's draft and this year's first round draft features more pre-purchased drafts than any other draft in the history of dating back to when they could be reserved for the very first time, which was going into SmackDown vs. Raw 2010. So, or I'm sorry, 2011. I stand corrected. Again, big opportunity for you guys to get your chance to grab your hands on characters who otherwise may not be available, and still a number of great characters available next. Think of all the NXT characters, a number of them have actually already been taken. Shinsuke Nakamura, Austin Aries, Chad Gable, but still other guys, Apollo Crews, how about NXT alumni, Baron Corbin, he would be one. Bray Wyatt and the Wyatt family still in their entirety available. So whether you're a fan of Bray Wyatt, whether you like new characters, big powerhouse in the forms of guys like Braun Strowman, and as I said, there's many more, of course. Don't forget all the legends that will be included in Nemesis Greedy, just thwartingly pressing Master B to the canvas. This is just a tough match for Master B. When you're on the defensive end in a match and it's a lag, it is very, very difficult to recover from that. As Master B getting woken up for what could be the end of this match. It's going to be very hard to time. Greedy with a little bit of sign language, and he's going to up with the finisher. Got it. Sister Abigail connects. Well, you'd like to say it was sending a message, but it really didn't do much of that. Mission impossible here for Master B. 2, and mission possible, yet completed though. Master B able to kick out, and he also have to watch connection and compatibility with one. So Master B and I, obviously last night, Master B and Aaron had similar problems. So that's going to be something that you have to hopefully don't come Saturday. Master B now face side, caught ropes. I've said this. Be these unfortunate talk about some of the matches that we have had, but in terms of the relevance of the win, the loss, whatever you may call it, they're really not going to affect one here tonight. We understand the circumstance of lag. It is playing the role it is playing, per se. Greedy avoiding those lines somehow through the lag and all. NBC Master B coming off the rope, and he got the offense. So now Greedy will be taxed with the ordeal of trying to reverse in what is some atrocious lag. Master B's older brother, the Superstar champion NBC, in action coming up next in what we hope to be a much better connecting match. And wow, Master B with a finisher out of nowhere. And with lag, let's see, Master B kicked out of lag. And NBC Master B, well, he kicked out in lag, and he also hit a finisher in lag, and Master B back-to-back nights, somewhat on any other night would be credited as a credible victory, but on nights, matches where lag is present, does not help. Although in terms of giving credit where credit is due, Master B did indeed, though, have to kick out of a finisher as well. And so we hope that after going into slow motion for you guys, we can pick up the pace here with our main event, the final match of a regular show that EIF will host on WWE 2K16. And Greedy, you want to watch this, right? Okay, so we are making it now. It is NBC versus Deathlock. All right, I made the match. Please go ahead and join. Again, Deathlock NBC and Greedy, who will be watching. These two superstars are main eventing tonight's ED, but many months ago, they opened up WrestleMania 9. It was the pay-per-view debut of NBC Master. Deathlock walked into that WrestleMania undefeated, albeit a limited number of matches. But when NBC won that match, he then went on to the Money in the Bank at WrestleMania 9. Turned a couple of heads in a match that a lot of people didn't think he would be able to do that with. And although NBC did not get the ultimate win that night, he got a determining factor. He got a vote and a nod of acceptance, a nod of appreciation from the EIF universe, both in its superstars and fans. NBC, more importantly than that, earned the respect of the EIF locker room. And that was the beginning that night, March 14th, where we began to believe that maybe, just maybe, this kid would be something special. And then later on that year, just a little over 2 months after the matter of fact, in a match that is still, as we get down to the wire, considered a 2K16 Match of the Year candidate, inside Hell in a Cell, NBC Master would defeat DZ and James Arkoffel by way of Kimura to win his first undisputed championship by way on the Superstardom brand. He had a brief run, but after a second stint and a second stint defeat, NBC in the same unforgiving structure with the same move would defeat Jetstar to win what is now on his third reign as undisputed Superstardom champion. That reign, when he enters Saturday, will be at the 49-day mark. And Deathlock, though, showing a little bit of an unusual appearance for him. Deathlock earlier this summer was undisputed world champion on this brand, and on Saturday he will face off with Prismatic Nebula Tripod with nothing to lose and everything to gain, so to speak. He has an opportunity to knock off a former world champion from this year. Again, this is the final regular show match. NBC Master has main evented a number of weeks consecutively on regular shows. He is the face of Superstardom, and perhaps with all his main event appearances on ED, trying to prove that he is the just overall face of Extreme International Fighting. He has a big challenge tonight for the first time since WrestleMania. These two square off in our ED main event. Ding, ding, ding. And here we go. Deathlock starting things off with a knee right over the nose of NBC Master. Deathlock, notice that knee and the extra padding there. That may be padding for protection for Deathlock, but let me tell you, that only impacts further damage into NBC Master. Hypermaniac sending me a message. I ain't going to be able to fucking read that while I'm on the stream, you dumbass. But NBC with a couple of stomps on the ribs of Deathlock. Deathlock turning away, following it up with a Pele kick. Now remember, Deathlock, the better of the two in terms of reputation on ED. NBC Master has yet to even win an ED championship. He's only held the US, and then, of course, his main event reigns with Superstardom, but he is teeing off on Deathlock nonetheless. And you know what? You could call him an underdog here, but you probably were calling NBC an underdog headed in to WrestleMania 9. A lot of people predicted Deathlock to go over NBC at that time, and NBC made quick work defeating Deathlock in about 7 minutes in the WrestleMania opener, as he is just striking away. Lion Salt, but he misses it. Turning point possibly. Who's going to get to their feet first? Just simultaneously they get up, but Deathlock had the advantage. NBC was still a little groggy following, using the ropes. Oh. Well, guys, when you see that the connection is good and you're thinking, that is a good thing, it's fine. I believe you realistically, because the momentum bars are just about even, so we'll go ahead and remake it. So, all right, just to explain to the people watching at home, you've probably seen this happen before, and to be completely honest, I feel like it's happened to NBC a lot. The split screen. An explanation for those that are new to EIF and those that are foreign to the idea of split screening but still part of the EIF universe. A split screen is where basically through lag or something for whatever reason, an alternate game is then being played, and basically multiple games are going on for multiple users, although they're all in the same match, but they're different things. It's referred to in EIF briefly as a split screen. We're going to go ahead and try and make this again because inside the 5-minute mark, it does not result in a no contest, and to be completely honest, I really don't want the last match, regular show on 2K16 end off of a split screen. But I have made the match, so we ask that you guys please go ahead and once again join the match. We hope that there will not be another split screen. Deathlock and NBC at the time, back and forth there, so hopefully that continues. As we do give it a little bit of time here to get into our main event, want to yet again remind you guys, which we will do at the end of our broadcast, that it's always a great time to follow the EIF network. Even though we are towards the ending stages of 2K16, there is still a lot going on, and it's all happening, and it's all going down Saturday, October 1st. It's just 4 nights away. You do not want to miss it. EIF's 5th annual Bonafide Fights. It is a super card, not just a match card, but a super card. 8 matches, some of the biggest one-on-ones that have been put together in WWE 2K16 and perhaps in all of the history of the Bonafide Fights pay-per-view stable name. And there's going to be some excitement there. 4 championship matches, 4 non-title undercard matches, but with major implications towards championships in a number of those undercard bouts. We'll see combination of both undercard and championship throughout the night. The only title not on the line is the United States Championship. If you tuned into X2 a couple of weeks ago, I should say. First, I'm sorry, because that connection was not good. But second, you would know that Nexus Genesis is the new United States champion. That night he also won the opportunity to gain immunity, which he did for the U.S. title. He is the only confirmed champion thus far walking into WWE 2K17, where formerly as IF, he fights to Collins. Intriguing opportunity. Deathlock and Master, obviously supporters of Twitch.tv through their they're doing in the ring right now. They have just to be careful that when the bell rings, they do not begin to strike each other. Or they strike each other before, but either way, we are at the connection as it did last match, but the split screen does not. Here we go, take two. Look, our ED main event. Ding, ding, ding. And with that, we are underway, and it's going to start by shooting for the leg with a takedown in favor of the Superstardom champion. Looking for a high kick and kick. A Pele act connecting for Deathlock, who stomps in of the Superstardom. Follows it up with the second. Rolling out of the way. Not to the avail, but was followed by another punch. I'm sorry, it was a left hand originally, then a couple of rights after. NBC with the early advantage until that reversal connecting for Deathlock. Dealing with the striking style of NBC Master, rocks the jaw of the side without face paint on Deathlock. Unclear as to whether this is the side of Deathlock we will see come Saturday when he goes one-on-one with Prismatic Nebula, two EIF veterans. A Hall of Famer in Tripod, a future one in his opponent, and an opportunity for both superstars to gain some ground in that virtual contender board in terms of the ED World Championship. Both men want to be at the top of the mountain. Deathlock's seen the top before. He loved the view. Tripod on Superstardom did. But he is yet to complete the cycle of championships in EIF, and it is a title that has haunted Tripod his entire 400-plus match career. Tripod actually, I might be wrong. Tripod's in the 500s, I think. No. Deathlock rolling out to the outside, opportunity to recuperate. His first of three allowed ring escapes. NBC looked like he was going to give clean entry, but that is the new breed of superstars. Deathlock still a part of the gentleman's club, as you would say, and I'm not talking about teddy bars down the road. NBC gets caught with a banned move.